When people think of wealth and power in the Washington, D.C. area, they picture places like Georgetown or Kalorama or McLean, and they would be right. But what if I told you the most expensive home ever sold isn't in any of those? In this video, we're counting down the ultra wealthiest neighborhoods in the region where billionaires, ambassadors, and political heavyweights actually live. And at the very end, I'll show you a bonus property, the jaw-dropping Potomac River estate that broke price records. It changed hands in a very unexpected way and might just be back on the market. Let's start the countdown in Kalorama, a neighborhood in D.C. that is known for old school prestige. It's tucked into Northwest D.C., right next to DuPont Circle and Embassy Row. And while it's centrally located, Kalorama feels incredibly private. The streets are quiet, heavily shaded, and lined with embassies, ambassador residences, and security details. Many of Kalorama's residents are also prominent business leaders, political insiders, and high net worth individuals who value the neighborhood's quiet, sophistication, and security. The vibe is historic and ultra prestigious. You'll find homes that range from Beaux Arts mansions to Georgian revivals and some truly elegant townhomes. Many of them, or I'd say most of them, have been beautifully restored inside with grand staircases, formal rooms, and garden courtyards in the back. It's not uncommon to see homes in the $5 million to $20 million plus range. And the truth is, some of the biggest transactions never even hit the public market. As for the neighbors, Kalorama has been home to two U.S. presidents, Woodrow Wilson and more recently Barack and Michelle Obama. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos made a major statement here, buying not just one but two adjoining buildings from the old textile museum. He then picked up another property across the street for added privacy. Our team currently has a listing here with a elevated patio overlooking a gorgeous rear yard. It's perfect for entertaining. Next up, we cross into Maryland to two of the most prestigious suburbs in the region and certainly Maryland, Bethesda and Chevy Chase. Many locals group them together because they blend seamlessly, they complement each other, and they are adjacent to each other. Think top-tier schools, luxury shopping, country clubs, and sprawling homes. Bethesda feels like a refined urban neighborhood, brimming with boutiques, top restaurants, and a strong sense of community. Chevy Chase, on the other hand, drips with old money elegance, stately lawns, and streetscapes that feel exclusive. Okay, so let's talk numbers. Bethesda's average household income is $290,000, which is well above DC's averages. In Chevy Chase, it's even more striking. Average income claims to hover between $400,000 and $500,000, making it officially one of Maryland's wealthiest communities. And that kind of income supports some serious luxury. For housing, expect to see everything from classic colonials and Tudor-inspired brick homes to newer, oversized custom builds. In Bethesda, streets like Bradley Boulevard are full of more traditional homes, and Chevy Chase Village is known for elegance on every block, trading for between 1.5 and 5.4 million. However, there is a current listing now at 7.5 million. So this area has attracted some serious star power over the years. Mike Tyson once owned a 19,000 square foot mansion in Bethesda right on Congressional Country Club course. It eventually sold for $4.575 million, setting a neighborhood record at the time. Over in Chevy Chase, the late Ted Turner, who was one of the most influential developers in the DC area and owner of the Washington Nationals, had a long-time home there. This pair of suburbs is where many power couples and private families thrive. It's just minutes from the capital, but really removed from the spotlight. Moving on to one of my personal favorites, the iconic Georgetown. It's historic, highly recognizable, and full of character. Now, I know the word charm can be overused. I tend to use it often, but Georgetown is the epitome of it. It's set along the Potomac River in northwest D.C. Georgetown is known for its cobblestone streets, gas lamps, and federal-style row houses. You'll find everything from classic brick townhomes to stone mansions. Home prices typically range from $2 million to over $10 million, depending on the location and features. There are a select few row houses overlooking the Potomac and the Arlington skyline, which is quite beautiful. Georgetown's residence list reads like a political and cultural who's who. Here are just a few of them. John F. Kennedy lived here before becoming president. He and Jackie were engaged at Martin's Tavern, which is still open today. After the assassination, Jackie returned to Georgetown and lived here in a 3-bedroom compound, which just recently sold for $15 million. One of the most iconic homes here belonged to Katharine Graham. She's the former publisher of the Washington Post. Her home was later purchased by venture capitalist Mark Ein, who has faced local pushback recently while trying to modernize and expand the home. You'll also find other notable names here. The first celebrity chef, Julia Child, lived in Georgetown. I'd been at Julia's house, and one of the things that struck me was the large combined kitchen and dining room. The kitchen was situated at the end of this large table, so she could entertain guests who were sitting at this table while she was cooking. Georgetown isn't the most secluded spot on the list, but for those who want classic DC, prestige, walkability, luxury, and deep roots in American history, it's hard to beat. Now let's talk about Kent, one of DC's most private and under-the-radar luxury neighborhoods. It's tucked into the far western edge of DC and backs right up to the Potomac River and the Palisades neighborhood. It's just 15 minutes from downtown, but it feels like a world apart. It's lush, quiet, heavily wooded. There's no through streets in Kent, which keeps the traffic and the noise down. I've driven clients through here who were shocked that this peaceful neighborhood even exists in DC. Kent isn't flashy, and that's kind of the point. It attracts CEOs, diplomats, and public figures who want privacy without needing a gated community. You won't find many sidewalks, but you will find winding roads, towering trees, and homes tucked behind like either hedges or stone walls. Home prices generally range from $2 million to over $20 million, depending on the lot size and the location. The largest home was an 8-bedroom, 10 full bath and 3 half bath home that sold just a few weeks ago, actually. Many of the homes are custom-built estates, often hidden from street view. Architectural styles vary. You can have a mix of modern glass builds, stone colonials, some transitional homes, and some with designer finishes and expansive backyards. New buildings or new construction are relatively common here, but they're typically discreet, designed to kind of blend into the landscape rather than stand out. While it's not packed with celebrities, it's full of serious power players who value their privacy. There's very little turnover here. People tend to stay once they move in. I would say if you're looking for true privacy, a custom home, in a neighborhood that's upscale without being too showy, that might be the hidden gem you never knew existed in DC. Two of DC's most exclusive and discreet enclaves are Massachusetts Avenue Heights and Woodland Normanstone. They are adjacent neighborhoods that share an elevated, wooded, and ultra-private feel. It's tucked away, or they're both tucked away in between the Vice President's residence, Embassy Row, and Rock Creek Park. The area feels like its own world. It's less than 10 minutes from downtown, but completely removed. The streets are winded, shaded, and often lack sidewalks. Homes here sit back from the road traditionally. They're usually hidden behind trees or stone walls. And it's a very quiet neighborhood, off the beaten path for sure. And there's very little turnover. Architecturally, it's a mix. You have brick colonials, modern glass estates, and fully custom luxury homes complete with gardens and sometimes security gates. New construction happens quietly, and it's usually designed specifically to preserve the residents' privacy. Prices here have traded from $3 million to well over $15 million. It depends on the lot size, the views, and the finishes in the home. However, in a clear sign of the neighborhood's appeal, Mark Zuckerberg recently paid $23 million for a 15,000 square foot mansion in Woodland, Normanstone. It's one of the priciest residential transactions in D.C. history. The house is architecturally very bold. It has 3 brick structures linked by glass walkways. The 5-bedroom, 7.5 bathroom house has large private outdoor areas, a basketball court, and a pool complex. It was designed by architect Robert Gurney. The home's exterior features prominent chimneys and gabled slate roofs. I was by there yesterday, and it looks as if they're doing some light remodeling and installing some heavy security prior to Mark and Priscilla occupying it. It's not just about status here. For high-profile residents who want to stay central, discreet, and secure, Mass Avenue Heights and Woodland Normanstone should be on your list. And finally, we arrive at McLean, Virginia, the crown jewel of luxury living in Washington, D.C. It's located just across the Potomac River from D.C. McLean offers estate-level privacy and prestige while still being a 20-minute drive to Capitol Hill, Tyson's, and Reagan National Airport. It's the area of choice for CEOs, diplomats, professional athletes, and political royalty. Many of the homes here sit on multi-acre lots, tucked behind gates and hedges with long driveways, tennis courts, and resort-style pools. You'll find Georgian estates, French chateaus, modern glass buildings, and really everything in between. Homes trade in the range of $3 million up to $25 million and beyond. McLean's average household income is just under $250,000, but in neighborhoods like Langley Forest, Ballantrae, and the Reserve, that number climbs much higher. This isn't just luxury here in McLean. It's quiet power. That neighborhood has long attracted high-profile names. John F. Kennedy and Jackie lived in McLean at a hilltop estate called Hickory Hill, and this was before his presidency. Later, it became Robert F. Kennedy's home. He was there when J. Edgar Hoover called to inform him that JFK had been assassinated. James Cameron lived in McLean while finishing Titanic, and Stephen Case, the founder of AOL, owned Jackie Kennedy's childhood home, which was a Georgian mansion that sold for a record price at the time. I would say if you want serious privacy, space, and prestige with the option of flying under the radar, McLean is where the ultra-wealthy go when they don't need to prove anything. Before we wrap up, I have to mention one property that sits outside our featured neighborhoods, but it holds the crown for the highest publicly reported home sale in the D.C. area. It's in Potomac, Maryland, set on a massive lot overlooking the Potomac River. The estate is jaw-dropping. Resort-style pool, multiple terraces, and an interior that feels like a luxury hotel. It's the former Washington Commanders owner, Daniel Snyder. He bought it years ago, but after selling the team recently, he put it on the market, and when a buyer didn't materialize, he made headlines around here by donating the estate to the American Cancer Society, who has now listed it for sale again. It's the kind of property that's less house and more statement. And it's a reminder that in this region, luxury takes many forms. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. My voice is not 100% this week. Anyway, to kind of summarize things, from historic estates in Kalorama to private compounds in McLean, these are the neighborhoods where Washington's ultra-wealthy quietly live, work, and build their legacy. Some of these lean traditional, others are more modern, but what they all have in common is privacy, prestige, and proximity to power. And for the right buyer, they offer a lifestyle that's hard to match anywhere else in the country. If you're thinking about buying or selling in one of these exclusive areas, or you're just curious what it takes to get in, feel free to reach out. I've toured many of these homes personally and would be happy to share what I've seen behind the scenes. If you want to see the DC neighborhoods that are really taking off, click here for my next video.